A long holiday is coming soon, and it can give a great opportunity for you to travel overseas and experience new cultures and also enjoy a break from everyday life with the family. Let's talk about traveling now.
Traveling together with the family does not only offer opportunities for relaxation, adventure, and learning about different places and people, but more importantly, it can significantly strengthen family bonds. The next 2 months could be the best time for you to travel overseas. In June 2025, Indonesia will have a 4-day long weekend due to Idul Adha celebration and a subsequent Cuti Bersama or joint leave. The long weekend will run from Friday, June the 6th to Monday, June the 9th. Meanwhile, Indonesian students will have a longer break between June and July because they will have a 2-week holiday to mark the end of the academic year. The dates of school holiday will vary between regions, but in Jakarta, the school holiday will last from June 28th to July the 12th. Are you looking for affordable overseas trips? ASEAN countries such as Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam could be the best choices. Besides cheaper, you don't have to apply for visa to travel to the neighboring countries. Australia, Japan, South Korea, or Turkey have also become more popular destinations among Indonesians. Many people choose to arrange their trips independently as it offers flexibility and cost-saving benefits. If you don't have time to do so, many experienced travel agents will be more than happy to help you with various packages that can suit for your traveling needs. The number of outbound tourism trips in Indonesia has showed an encouraging trend since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020. In 2024, the country's outbound trips rose by about 19% to 8.95 million trips from 7.50 million trips in 2023. According to the 2024 Outbound Tourism Report published by Statistics Indonesia. Although the number is still below pre-COVID-19 pandemic level, it has continued to show an upward trend. The number of the outbound trips in 2020 decreased by around 75% compared to 2019 due to the pandemic. The downward trend continued in 2021 when the number of outbound trips fell further by 41% before showing a recovery trend in 2022. ASEAN countries remain favorite destinations of the Indonesian tourists with a contribution of 57.70% of the total international trips. Malaysia contributes 30% of the total visits, followed by Singapore and Thailand, which accounted for 14.48% and 12.98% respectively. Meanwhile, 17.6% of the outbound tourists in 2024 visited the Middle East, mostly to Saudi Arabia, primarily for religious purposes, including Hajj and minor Hajj or Umrah. Other Asian countries accounted for 17.3% of the total outbound tourism trips. Of the total, 68.7% of the outbound tourists traveled to East Asia, with Japan, China, South Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong as the main destinations. Outbound trips to Europe remained relatively unchanged from the previous year, accounting for 3.45% of total outbound visitors, while the Indonesian outbound trips to the United States and Australia remains low, respectively at 1.02% and 2.04%.
The number of the country's outbound tourists has increased sharply lately, although the number is still below the pre-pandemic level. So with us today, we have Pauline Suharno. She is the chairwoman of the Indonesian Travel Agents Association, or in short, ASTINDO, and she will talk about the rising trend in the outbound tourism and share her tips in finding affordable trips abroad. Hello, Ibu Pauline.
Hi, Luisa. How are you?
Good, thank you, Ibu Pauline. Thank you so much for joining our talk today on Economic Outlook. Now, Ibu Pauline, years ago, the international travel industry almost came to a total standstill because of COVID-19 pandemic. Now, in your observation, how is the condition of the tourism industry in Indonesia right now?
Luisa, actually, we were quite happy during this first 3 months because some of the travel agents, when we asked them regarding the sales, we think this year when we start our 2025 with a very big hopes, 10 days after the election last year, in general, in January 2025, our sales actually growth about 18% for international sales, and then for domestic, it growth about the growth is about 23%. But then when it came to February, the sales is not wasn't really good. We noted that there are some minus growth within February 2025 compared to 2024. So within February, international sales dropped by 7% and domestic sales dropped by 3%. So we are still waiting for the result in March 2025. And of course, March 2025 is because it's a fasting month. Normally, during the fasting month, the sales is a bit slow because people are preparing for the Muslim holiday, for the Eid al-Fitr, for the school holiday as well. So the sales within March to April normally is a bit slow. So we are still waiting for the result. But overall, the growth in this 2025 for international January to March is about 3.64%, and then for domestic is about 8%.
Well, that's good to hear, Ibu Pauline, especially, like for the past few months, there's been so much uncertainties in our economy, in the world, in fact. Now, despite of the condition that is going on at the moment, outbound tourism, as you stated just now, is still increasing. And as a travel agent, how do you see the trend so far, especially with, like how easy it is to make your own itinerary online? Do people still go to travel agency to make their to buy the tour, or do people prefer to go and make their own itinerary?
Yeah, Luisa, of course, people still come to the travel agent and ask for travel agent or travel consultant or travel designer to arrange for that itinerary, especially for a long haul trip or the middle haul trip, because travel agents give the best solution actually for the customers, for the travelers. When you want to make when you want to search your itinerary by online, when you want to plan your trip by using the AI, ChatGPT or whatever, they only suggest you to the most popular destinations, but they don't give you the idea how to plan the trip effectively. So I tried to do it by myself when I traveled with some friends, when I and family, when we were not in hurry, so we had plenty of time. But then I realized that when I traveled with a travel agent, with a local tour operator, we can visit more places, more attractions, and then the route becomes more effective. We don't need to think, we don't need to plan, and of course, we don't need to argue among ourselves because the land operator already arranged everything for us. Maybe the only thing that we have to think is the restaurant that we are going to visit, that we are going to dine in, or what time we should start the day, what time we should finish the day, because in our members, family members or friend members, the travelers mostly there are senior people, children, spouse, in-laws, whoever. So we have to be tolerant to everyone. While when we try to do when we try to travel by ourselves, when we don't plan our itinerary, then it becomes more miserable because everyone argue. Somebody wants to go there, somebody wants to visit this attraction. They are not happy with our plans. The kids not happy with what we want to do today. So for me, it's more miserable when we don't plan our trip or we don't use the service of the travel agents or land operator, unless it's a place which is really how to say, more informative, or we can speak the language, or where the public transportation is already applicable or already the public transportation accessible to the foreigners, then maybe it's fine if we don't use the service of the travel agents.
Yes, Ibu Pauline, especially if you're planning to travel to a country with a different language, it could be a big challenge. Or as you mentioned just now, if you travel in a big groups with a group of families or a group of friends, that can also be the roots of stress when you're traveling and making your own itinerary. Now, Ibu Pauline, ASEAN countries are still the main choice of the Indonesian tourists because they are relatively more affordable. And of course, there is also no visa requirement for the ASEAN countries.
Yeah.
Which ASEAN countries are mostly visited by Indonesian tourists at the moment?
Previously was Singapore, but now Malaysia and Thailand already overtake Singapore, perhaps because Singapore is a bit too expensive now for Indonesian travelers, especially the hotel in Singapore. You can see the increasement hotel rate before COVID and after COVID. Previously, the 3-star hotel in Singapore cost us like only about $80, and then the 5-star hotel cost us about 250 Singapore dollars. But then now the 3-star hotel in Singapore costs like 130 to 150, and then the 5-star hotel even more pricey, perhaps about 300 start from 300 Singapore dollars. So most of Indonesians still have a very high number of visitors going to Singapore, but now people don't go to Singapore only for holiday or only for the long weekend. Previously, we just love the long weekend. I believe the Indonesian loves long weekend, and then we can just, as long as the air ticket is cheap, then Indonesians will just go travel everywhere. But now they will consider to travel during the long weekend also, because as you know, that we are now lack of buying power, and then the conversion rate is also very high. Then Indonesians now, we noticed that during the long weekend, Indonesians now prefer to go to the the cheaper country like Malaysia or Thailand, and also not going there only for makan, only for shopping. They have the certain purpose to travel to certain country. They prefer to travel to a new country as well, not repeating to visit the same country again and again. And of course, the neighboring cities we are talking about the domestic traveler. During the long weekend also, Indonesians now prefer to travel to the neighboring cities rather than to travel outbound.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Now, speaking of Thailand or Malaysia, we're hearing a lot of people traveling to, say, Phuket or Khao Yai, and they do some wellness trip, or to Malaysia. We're hearing a lot of people going not just to Kuala Lumpur, but to Penang for health checkup and also a wellness trip. Can you approximately tell us how much is actually the cost to visit these countries in comparison to, say, Singapore?
Okay, for the medical checkup itself in Malaysia, especially the health medical checkup is very cheap. It starts from 500 ringgit for the standard medical checkup. Compared to Singapore, it starts from 200 Singapore dollars. So the comparison between a lot of the Singapore medical facilities also open their branches in Malaysia. So some of our clients, they prefer to go to Malaysia for the middle class, low class. They prefer to go to Malaysia for the medical checkup, or for the high end market, they will go to Singapore for the medical checkup. But then when they need to do the treatment, they will go either to Malaysia or to Thailand. So it's gonna be cheaper for doing the treatment in these two countries. Of course, for the wellness, although Indonesia has a lot of wellness destinations as well, but I think because Indonesians do not promoting it before them. Thailand, I believe they already started promoting this wellness destination since like few years ago, and then Malaysia start from 2 years ago, and then they also, while promoting the wellness or medical tourism packages, they also promote the sustainable tourism. So we are lack of information about this wellness and sustainable information. I know that government from our tourism ministry, they already educate our tourism stakeholders about this wellness and medical health packages, whatever. But then our attractions are not really ready about to promote these wellness and medical packages, especially also because of the government budget already cut, so we don't have enough promotion to promote this wellness and medical. I believe, but I believe that Indonesia can compete with these two destinations regarding wellness and medical, whatever. But then again, we are lack of promotion regarding this wellness and medical.
All right, last question here, Ibu Pauline. At the moment, there are, we know we have a long weekend coming up soon. There's the Waisak holiday, and then of course the school holiday later on in June. There are so many travel agents at present. How to choose a good travel agent so that a trip will be fun and memorable? And also, do you have any tips as to how to get the best discounts or promotions for the trip, of course?
Yeah, this is a bit challenging actually, how to choose a travel agent. But for first, we always tell our customers, educate the people to book through the legal travel agents, to choose the legal travel agents when they need to book when they need to plan their trip. How to choose the legal travel agents? You can see the legal compliance from the travel agents. You can see they have their own office, not only selling or promoting through the social media. And also, of course, because we in ASTINDO, we have our own ASTINDO travel fair held in some cities, big cities in Jakarta, Surabaya, Medan, Bali, Palembang, Pekanbaru, Padang. And in fact, this ASTINDO travel fair can help you to find the best rate, the best air ticket fare promotion during the show. In 2025, we have 2 shows in February and also in August. And in this show, we were supported by more than 20 airlines. So these airlines gave their very best special rate during our show. In this February 2025, our sales growth about 14%. And in fact, a lot of travel agents, a lot of our members supporting this show because they know that by promoting their own products during this show, they will get more customers and they will get the branding. So people will know that they are the legal travel agents. When people try to book the trip through these legal travel agents, I will guarantee there's only the satisfaction that they will get.
Okay, Ibu Pauline Suharno, the Chairwoman of Republik Indonesia Travel Agents Association. Thank you so much for your tips and looking forward to have you back again here on Economic Outlook next time. Thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you, Luisa.
Thank you.